Let's see if we can make some general rules to make it all kind of stick. When are you going to pivot on the ball of the foot? This will be the most simple instance, yeah? Have your foot slightly wider than you might normally, yeah? So you're going to land. Which part of the foot, heel or toes, are you going to pivot? Toes. Why? Why wouldn't you do this?
Too much weight on the heel.
Yeah, it's a weight thing, yeah? What are you trying to do? Watch. When it's forwards, it's going to the toes. So, because your momentum is going forwards on the toes, you don't have to lift your heel, but you can see the weight is naturally biased towards the toes, and that means that that last bit that you squeeze out turns, doesn't it? You want to drive weight forwards in a forward stance, you're going to be pivoting on your back foot on the toes, and possibly even on your front foot. So if you were doing a standard punch, boom, yeah, you would do all of the foot. All of the foot. It doesn't make sense to go, because you're pulling it backwards. So we're going to bring the weight back. And we're turning, we want to essentially turn around that way as fast as we can. In reality, this is quite a fast move. But it's done slowly in Tai Chi, and we have to focus on what it is we're doing. So we're going to go back, we're going to turn the heel. Now we're going to, onto that leg, raise, foot goes across, and press. The reason why the heel turns, you can try it. The reason why we don't turn on the ball of the foot, give it a go. See what happens if you're trying to turn around and you're going to use the ball of the foot to pivot. And you'll quickly see it just doesn't make sense. The weight's coming back. Because it's coming back, the weight's gone off the foot. Turns in, hand by the ear, weight goes onto that leg briefly, this leg shoots around, and there you have the press. Either you're moving back or you're moving forwards. Everyone make a big circle. Yeah? Let's have a look at Bagua. So, we're walking, see? Okay, left, right, left, and then notice to you, because we're walking in a circle, we're actually starting to pivot. Watch if I make the circle really small. Oh, you're not pivoting? Of course I am. Because what I'm doing is I'm not going boom, unless I'm mud stepping. Mud stepping is a different issue. But it's always heel toe. And if I'm starting to walk in a straight line, that's fine. But as soon as I'm starting to turn, it means that I'm going one. So I'm either going one or I'm going two. So you can see a pivot happens automatically using the heel, the tighter your circle gets. And if I'm doing this as a sudden turn, you can see that I'm basically pivoting on the heel. And that comes in handy. So he's punched there. And if I'm going to pivot in, yeah, again. So, 1, 2, reckoning, yeah. If he's attacking me, and I've stepped in there, and I'm going to pivot, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Notice here I'm hooking his leg, snapping his knee. I'm not going to do this. I'm simply losing everything. 1. I could just plant it there. This is called mud stepping. And many schools do it. Nothing wrong with it. It's a different way of walking. We have what we call a natural, which means there's a slight heel toe. So in other words, your heel is used when you're moving backwards, so you're taking the weight off, and it could be because you're turning just as you step, either to turn around, or just to turn in a circle, or to turn that way. Which is why you'll notice many beginners go before that. They never do this. Yeah? They always do this. Because your weight is easily adjusted like that because you're starting to turn. Okay, thanks. Everyone, so you can see now when we go back to this loop, single whip, what's actually happening. Everyone try single whip. We're here. 1. Weight coming back, isn't it? We're not going to do this. That's just plain daft. So, we're trying to get to there. Now, it'd be different if I wasn't trying to turn around. We'll see in a minute if I'm trying to do something else. But if I'm trying to turn around as quickly as possible, I'm going to take the weight and I'm going to turn the foot that way. So 1, everyone together. 2, I'm now going into that corner. Step. And I'm going to pivot that last bit because I'm pushing through, yeah? So once again, 1, 2, 3. You might see that there's actually a bit of a combination of this. Watch. 1, 2, a little bit, and then the last bit as you're transferring that weight. This just goes to show nothing is pure. You might have such a, and that's why I tell you turn this as much in as possible. Let's say you didn't. You've got so much to go that you're going to do a bit of that and then a bit of this at the end. But it all depends, because at the point that you're pushing, that'll be on your toes. If you're still here, there's no reason to suddenly go like this. Imagine this, your weight's on your back leg and you're pivoting on, doesn't make any. This is possible. So there. So push at the very end. If you're pivoting, let's have a look at this movement in boom. If you're pivoting on both legs, it has to be on toes. Why? Let's examine a simple move. Many people have seen this from Wing Chun. Watch me with heels. I'm taking my weight off balance. If James is going to rush me with a punch, and I'm on the heels, make a backhand, and he's just going to push through. Never mind if he's actually just charging me. I've got no stability on my heels. I'm going to go. But if I'm on my balls and my feet, I might have a chance. Yeah? If you look at the wooden dummy here, okay, you have a pivot on the balls of the feet. And a lot of what we do is on the balls of the feet. And essentially what that does is it moves you off the center line. Okay. On the other hand, if you were doing here, 1, if you wanted to turn that way, if you had such a big turn, and then punch using heel pivoting, and tell me which one feels more powerful. Okay, give it a try. Uses the whole body. Bang! Watch what happens here. What's happening to my body? Yeah, same as this. My weight's moving that way. My punch is moving that way. So when you pivot on the balls of the feet, you're pulling your body that way and punching that way. If you do just this, you can see that I'm throwing more body weight. But what do you notice straight away when I'm doing this? What do you notice? Losing balance. So there's another golden rule. Never pivot on both heels at the same time. Ever. That's why I say that's an artificial example. So, from that, you can extrapolate what you might do. But is it more powerful? Yes. That's why this never actually occurs. Never. But you might get 1, 2. Yes. You have to follow one after the other. What's the other situation where you want stability and why you pivot on the ball of one foot? Not both, just one foot. Can you imagine?
If you're doing
in the Tai Chi form.
If you're doing a big turn?
Yeah, and what would that involve? Having one foot off the ground. It's all very well to say I'm going to pivot on one foot on the toes. But the other time that you'll pivot is, if you recall, there, boom. Whenever you have one leg off the ground, it's madness to try to pivot with one leg off. Only break dancers who do it, and they practice that. It's an art form, yeah? So you pivot on your ball of your foot for stability when you're pivoting both legs, or you're pivoting one leg. You're not going to mawashigiri. Tim, you mawashigiri in the ball of the foot. Right, so watch. Ball of the foot. And kicks the head. Do his heel now. They're not going to do that. They're not going to make him do that. I'll go your mawashigiri, your ball of the foot again. And you can do a couple. And you can be on the ball of the foot if it's not an issue. Yeah? Here's a general rule of thumb. If you're stepping forwards, you land heel first, not toes. No one walks like this except ballerinas. Right? People walk heel toe. So you walk backward, forwards, heel toe. If you step and you have to turn in surprise, you'll be turning on your heel. And there. Right? This step. Right, you're not going to do this. Suck away. Stepping backwards, toes. So if you step, as soon as you're stepping back, toes. As soon as you're stepping forwards, heel. And everything in between is a shade. Stepping to the side, you notice when we step across, we don't do toe or heel, it's foot. So you get some idea of how you would pivot. If you're ever in a part of the form and you're going, it's just a matter of logic, isn't it? You have to basically pick which point of pivot, which principle is needed. And it could be a combination. Remember, 1, 2, 3, might have turned a bit, pivot the last one.